Today I'm going to be working on the FC. It's the Sunday before a big Rotary event in Taupo. I've been pretty busy and I haven't had much time to focus on the FC, so it's crunch time now. Thankfully there's not too much to do, and I've got old mate Seamus coming over to help. We spent a little bit of time getting the front wheels fitting, had to raise the suspension to fit the guard roller on, roll the guards and put the suspension back to where it needs to go, and that took way too long. Today we're going to focus on the rears and finish off anything else that needs doing ahead of warrant tomorrow. Since the last FC video I managed to swap out the water pump, got the correct one from Mazda. Okay, so here's the new and old side by side. As you can see, much better match than last time. There's something satisfying about OEM parts. Certainly costs more, but definitely worth it in the long run. I can't remember if I showed it in the last video, but when I put this back in a few months ago, the O-ring around the bottom there split and dropped off. So when I put it back in, it didn't have one at all. So I just found a universal kit and found the right size for this and put this in, and hopefully that stops the water leak out the radiator. Groovy. So now that that's done, we can crack on with the fun stuff. And hopefully by the end of the day we'll be able to take the FC for a drive and get some shots of it outside with the new wheels on. So the fronts, we've raised it up a little bit, not a heck of a lot. You can get your finger in there now. But the height should be pretty good and usable. We had to do it, we've got wider wheels. I didn't want to pump the guards out any more than the factory lines. So this has been rolled pretty much flat on the inside, and these are a 9-inch wheel plus 35 on the front with some pretty square tyres, so full lock we don't want to be rubbing, so we'll see how that goes later on. One of the previous owners has already cut the rear side of the guards here, so we don't have too much lip to play with, so we might just leave this side which had been cambered in quite a bit, and we might match on the other side, which hasn't really had any camber added, and it's quite neutral as a result. Can't get my finger in under there, and that will rub pretty hard. Alright, so Seamus is here now. Check the rear end. Always busy. Gonna whip off the wheels and see what we're dealing with. The idea here is we're not going for what's best for grip for the car, we're going for the best fit for the car. So we might get a bit more negative camber in the rear than I would normally do, but as long as it doesn't rub and we have good times, then that's all that matters right now. So just a reminder, I am new to FCs, so we are learning as we go. So with the FC there is some minimal adjustment that can be done, and can be done on this here bolt. I don't know if you can get in there and see, but there are some measurement points there, so one side is different to the other. So the right side here for us is what we want, so we're going to try to replicate that on the left. And compared to this side, different. So we'll just loosen this end here off and get it to match, and hopefully that's all there is to it. So you can remember where?
Yeah, I know where the other one's going. I knew there's that little triangle notch in it. I'm using that as a reference point. There's a triangle notch in both of them. And that's, there is a kind of a dial, and I'm going to put that in the same position as the other side. Yeah, it wasn't very tight at all, eh? Like, I'm using a breaker bar, but I really didn't put that much effort in. Do you see how much the arm moved just then?
Oh yeah, I also found a new wing mirror which needs to be painted up. So that's on there now. Which number will I get this year? Yeah, so we'll get that tightened up, chuck the wheel on and see how it looks. On she goes. Alright, so here we go on the right. I mean, there must be a height difference too, maybe. We'll see. So that's what it looks like on the right. Let's see what it looks like on the left now.
Height.
That has improved. I feel like that has improved enough where
it's not. Really got slightly better.
It's not going to rub, I don't think, on compression. Actually, we could probably sit down on that.
Oh.
Maybe.
Move your fingers.
Yep, fingers moved.
Get
your fat ass in there.
Well, look, it's not even touching the tyre, is it?
Sorted.
Wow, until he puts a toe back in it.
Super helpful as always, Kat. Alright, so what old mate Seamus is doing now is
forgetting which way to undo stuff.
That's right. Now, we did a quick measure height-wise against what's on the cert, and we're pretty close, but the right-hand side here was marginally higher, so 10 mil higher than the left, which explains a lot of, what, is it loose? The loose theme continues. So we're going to lower this by 10 mils to get the height the same, get it looking good, and then pump up the rear tyre, get some, might actually need some petrol.
And a pie.
A pie sounds great.
I'm just cleaning the threads, so when we do lower it slightly, that there's not too much shit in the threads, so it doesn't catch, but I'm not being very successful with dust and grime and...
Yeah, we had a lot of trouble with the fronts. They were very stiff the whole way through, and then you had to use a breaker on the C-spanner, which I had no idea was possible. Well, it's not really a breaker, but as you see here, nice little recess for a 1/2-inch drive. It makes all the difference when you've got old, I wouldn't say that these coilovers are old, but they're certainly quite tricky to work with. So the muscle in that really made the difference.
It's not the fact that it's hard, it's just that and that.
Has it shifted at all yet?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I'm still trying to get this bottom bar up so I know that I'm going down to it.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Sure, I'm going down. Look at these tyres.
Dot junk. Why would I say dot junk?
The tyres are what?
They probably are. I mean, these are essentially Westlakes, but they're a shit ton of brands that go under the sports RS label, whatever. These ones are Xiaoyang's. The Westlakes over there, they've got the exact same stud pattern. No, sorry, exact same tread pattern. Westlakes is a bit more recognisable in New Zealand. So before, I'm going to measure it shortly, before I can get my fingers under there without fouling on the wheels. Now they foul on the wheels
just
if I were to go straight through. But the proof is in the pudding. Let's us measure that. And by us, I mean you.
You did it this way in a bend last time, eh?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
More of a straight.
So that's just under 3. So that's lower. I mean, that's fine.
It has come down a wee bit, yes.
It's definitely come down. That's pretty good for amateurs at iometer. So well done, Shane.
Iometer.
Better than last time where it was up, gone too far, down, gone too far, up.
Real good. Much better than you said. It's real good, man. I'll be honest, that's real good. Smile.
First time she's been out on the new wheels, and man, she looks good in the sun, I tell you. This colour is great. Definitely in love with those wheels. Alright, so we've got our... We'll put air in the tyres. One of them was pretty damn low, 7 psi. That's to be expected when it's sitting around for a while. But you need to give it lots of revs because it's It's quite flat. Hey mate. Hmm?
No.
Is it ticking?
No. Seriously.
Turn it?
So it's there, ready?
Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Just go. Keep going. It's a starter. Gas. Get.
Yeah, I was just pumping it rather than pouring.
Yeah. Remember the starter's shit?
Yeah.
She looks good. Pretty happy with how she looks. Sounds like she goes alright too. Doesn't feel as fast as the FD, but I don't know, maybe it's all noise. Moo.
Ignoring first and the feeling of first and the takeoffs.
Yep.
Everything else is awesome. Drives really well. Accelerates really well.
Sweet. Right,
It's just that hesitation pulling away on first.
Yeah. Right, let's go home and finish off the rest of the list, eh? Or at least get something to eat. Boot. Alright, so we're back home after the road test. We think the throttle position sensor is funny. It's reading much too high than it should be, so getting a bit too much fuel on takeoff, which explains the bogging down. And now we're dealing with this. So on the railway tracks coming over the road, we did this, so that's shit. And now the bonnet won't pop, so we've got to figure that one out now. We have the bonnet popped. The cable here came out of its little holder and just lacked any leverage, so had to pop that back up and put a little safety wire around there for next time. So that's cool. Taking off the cooling shroud, I think I'll leave that off for now. Got good access to the reservoirs with that off. So bonnet is kind of temporarily fixed. Sorted out the guard, just folded that back in with, folded that back under with vice grips and trying to make it as straight as I could with a rubber mallet and block. So that's pretty good, it's back to how it was. And just testing the TPS with the multimeter and stuff now. There's definitely funkiness going on there. 99% through to 40% when it really shouldn't be. So see how that goes. Also, just because, you know, what's another problem? The focus. The water pump appears to be leaking. So whoever the muppet is that did that deserves a pat on the back.
Wrong one. I'm doing an ohm test on a power source.
Alright, I think we've done enough we can in one day. It's got a warrant due tomorrow, so I'll talk to my WAF guy and see what he reckons about the TPS. But otherwise it's all drivable. Just going to go out for one last test drive before it gets dark and be all ready for reunion.